Most guys chase after their ex after she breaks up with them because they want her back. The truth is, though, there's a lot of guys out there that actually chase after their ex, even though they don't necessarily want to get her back. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why chasing your ex is actually like an addiction, why we do it, and the right approach to actually take. Before I jump in, though, if you've been recently dumped and are going through a breakup, click below in the description on the link to get my 5 steps to get your ex back or someone better guide. It is completely free and it will get you through this tough time with 5 actionable steps. Click below in the description or the pinned comment to get it sent to you today. I'm going to give an example of when I was in my decade of disaster, as I like to call it in my dating world, when I was in my early 20s. That is probably relatable to a lot of guys out there. And what it boils down to was I was really good at ignoring red flags. In my mind, a relationship was something that you just had to continuously work at and try to make work no matter what. And in doing that, I would look past a lot of red flags. So there were a couple times where I would be hit with these red flags during these relationships, whether it was a 2-year relationship, 1.5, 3, whatever it was. I had plenty of examples during this decade. And these red flags would start to hinder my confidence. She would be doing actions or acting a certain way, and it would hinder my confidence in the relationship and in myself. But I wouldn't actually take action or do anything about it. I wouldn't have that self-respect to actually leave or stand up for myself. And really what happened is my behavior in these relationships was very weak, very beta, and I was always acting as a pushover or a people pleaser. And I also was the triple threat. I was complacent as well once you kind of got cozy in the relationship. So it ultimately led to whichever girl losing attraction for me to a point where she's breaking up with me. But what's interesting is during that period where, when a relationship starts to go wrong, I was acting a certain way. I was acting needy and weak. Her behavior would start to change. She would become more bitchy. She would be less happy. So you could tell the relationship was going down into the dumps. It's that period of a lot of arguments, a lot of fighting, a lot of unhappiness, and it's a really rough time up until the point where she's breaking up with you. I would have my own thoughts where with multiple women during these times, I would say, to myself, I'd actually be pretty happy. Like, I actually don't care if she breaks up with me. Like, I'd probably be way happier single. I wouldn't have these arguments anymore. I wouldn't have these fights anymore. And yeah, I wouldn't care if they broke up with me. I would have that thought process, but again, I would never stand up for myself or actually make that move to break up myself. I would kind of stay in it and be like, no, it's my job to make this work. This is normal. You're just supposed to make her feel better. Obviously, there's something I'm doing wrong. It's my behavior. So I would look past all those red flags. So obviously, because I never changed my behavior, I was a pushover, I was acting weak, she would be losing respect. And I say she, it would be whatever girl. This happened multiple times. She would get to that point where she's breaking up with me, right? When she finally broke up to me, it's that rejection and fear and panic would set in. And I would try to do anything I could to win them back. I'd be pleading. Any terrible beta thing you can think of, I did it. So I'd be pleading to get them back. And this is because rejection generally leads you to obsessive behavior, right? You become consumed in wanting to get her back. And that's exactly what happened with me. I'm sure a lot of you guys could relate. But it's such a trip because in a lot of these circumstances, I knew I would be better off without them. Like I told you, I had these thoughts when we were going through the rough patch leading up into the breakup. I'd be like, yeah, I'd be happier without her. I'd be free. I would always have that feeling. But when the breakup happens, I would become fearful. I would feel rejected, and I'd be immediately trying to say, how can I get her back? And it almost became like a competition. Like I was challenging myself. I have this fear, and I'm like, no, I got to win her back, even though I know I'd probably be happier without them. And when I look back at it now, one of the girls, I convinced her to get back to me. And if you look at it from this perspective in today's world, when I look back, I know she was getting back with me with sympathy. Like she couldn't do that final blow, right? So we would get back together and the relationship would be exactly as it was. It wouldn't get any better. And she eventually broke up with me. Chaos is sleeping over there. So she eventually broke up with me again. And it was just this cycle. And then I would still try and win her back, right? But it's this fear and scarcity mindset of not being able to find someone better, which makes it like an addiction. I'm trying to get her back and I'm trying to get everything back on track. So I want you to think of a time in your life, maybe she broke up with you and you weren't convinced that, you weren't even convinced that she was the one for you, but you almost instinctively tried to get her back and you tried to fix her. You had this notion that you got to fix it and get her back. And one of the best ways to overcome an addiction is to focus on something else. And that's why I talk about mindset being so important, because you are really only in control of how you think and how you act. You don't control a lot of what happens externally in your life. That goes for anything, not just relationships, not just another person. That goes for everything. All you can do is control how you think and how you act and how you show up. Now, you can try to control little outcomes of things here and there to a certain degree, but ultimately you can only control your thoughts and your actions, right? So if you have that right mindset of abundance, it's the same thing that applies when you get rejected, when she breaks up with you. You won't get this fear that you won't find anybody better, right? You're not going to start chasing after her to get her back, because in my scenario, let's say, when I knew I'd be better off without these girls, multiple different occasions, different relationships, I knew I'd be freer. I knew I'd be happier. If I had the proper abundance mindset and the proper self-respect, I would have never tried to get them back, because I wouldn't have that fear. I wouldn't be addicted to overcoming that fear or addicted to chasing that fear. So when we talk about one of the best ways to overcoming fear or overcoming addiction, it's focusing on something else. So that's what you're doing when you have the right mindset, the abundance mindset, when you're going to focus on you. Even if you want her back, okay? If you do want your ex back and you realize you made a mistake in a relationship and it was a lot of your behavior and your fault which caused her to leave, and she breaks up with you, what's going to happen if you don't have the right mindset is you're going to still get consumed with chasing her, and your actions are going to be impacted by how she responds. So if you're still consumed with chasing her, you have this fear, you don't have the right mindset, and you do rightfully want her back because you made the mistake, if she doesn't accept you right away or she still takes time, like, you're going to start to decimate your own mentality and you're going to start to take all these actions based on that response, rather than if you focus on you and have that right mindset and take those actions, it's going to be independent of whatever she does. And you're going to do a lot of things right, which is going to improve yourself so that if she does come back, you're going to be in a much better state. And that's going to give you the best chance to get her back. Not trying to chase her, not trying to convince her, and not trying to plead with her. So you can crack that addiction. You can just focus on you and focus your attention to something else, whether it's your health, whether it's your family, whether it's your career, or all of the above. And it should be all of the above. You should be focusing on those things, and that's the best chance of getting your ex back. Being addicted to chasing her is not going to help you, right? That addiction of chasing her is solvable by having that right mindset and understanding that there is no need for fear because the world is abundant to you. There are so many options and so many things out there. Even if you want her back, you have to have this mindset. And I'll leave you with a Jim Rohn quote. He said, "We must all suffer two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret." And in my life, going through a very polarized, super beta, horrible in relationships, getting broken up left, right, and center, to understanding women, becoming more alpha, incredibly confident and self-reliant, I can tell you that the pain of discipline is way more enjoyable than the pain of regret. And it is incredibly rewarding and forward-moving in all aspects of your life if you focus on being disciplined. So you must be disciplined to not chase your ex and understand that that addiction that's going to make you want to do it is a baseless fear. So, as I mentioned, if you are going through a breakup and were recently dumped, click below the link in the description for a free guide called 5 Steps to Get Your Ex Back or Someone Better. It's a free guide I created to help you focus and get clarity during this obviously painful time. And if you want a coaching video made, please send me an email to questions@elevatemyrelationships.com, and I may make a video out of your scenario. You will remain anonymous, but the entire point is to help you and other guys who are watching. And for all one-on-one coaching options, please head on over to elevatemyrelationships.com, click on the coaching tab, and choose one of the options. All those links are below in the description. I will see you guys next time.